My name is Povikas and I've been a video editor for around 6 years now, and today I want to show you how to make realistic damaged CRT effects.
Bitch, I feel like Carnegie. You can rock with me. All them bitches fuck.
Yo, hello, welcome to the Editing Visuals channel. I'm very glad to have you here, and the first thing I need to tell you is that you don't even need a real CRT TV for this to work. I have found a way to use overlays and presets to make this whole damaged CRT TV look, so that's why today we'll be using a free overlay that I have linked in the description, and also my damaged TV presets pack, which is a big pack that comes in with over 30 plus presets that are VHS plus CRT style. They're literally just drag and drop. You do need the Signal, Sapphire, Universe, and Omino plugin. Omino is absolutely free, and the other plugins you probably have. If you don't have them, I really recommend to have them. And if you guys want a discount for this pack, the code will be Povikas. Alright guys, let's begin. Alright guys, once you have downloaded the overlay and the presets pack, you can press Ctrl I, find wherever you have downloaded the overlay on. I found it right here, Damaged Glint Deep Glow. This is the overlay you need to have. Just import it here. Let's add it on top of our clip, and this is how it looks. And then what you can do is right click on the overlay, go to blending mode, and make a divide. Now, why do we need this overlay? Look how damaged the environment becomes when I add the overlay and make a divide, and look how it was before it. It also gives that brightness. One thing to note is that your clip should be definitely on the darker side for this to work. I will show you ways on how to make damaged CRT looks on clips that are brighter or just normal brightness, but for now let's stick to darker clip. And what we can do now is press Ctrl Alt Y to make a new adjustment layer, and we can go to Effects and Presets panel, and here when you have downloaded the pack you can type Damaged TV. There will also be a free update for the pack next week. What we can do now is just drop a preset. So one of my favorite presets to drop on top of this overlay is Damaged TV 4. Now don't drop it on the overlay, but drop it on the adjustment layer that's on top of the overlay, and you will instantly get the CRT look that looks just fantastic. And look how this effect looks without the overlay. Yeah, it's just because of a dark clip, it's just dark, but with the overlay it just looks fantastic. It starts to show everything. One little tip I should give you is press Ctrl Shift D to cut the adjustment layer around and just cut it to whatever you want. What I also like to do is press Ctrl Alt Y again, cut it up to the same amount. Alright guys, and now in my Damaged TV pack update, I will actually feature a lens 12 FPS preset. It's nothing too deep, it's just CC lens, transform, and posterize time. And what it gives you is that zoomed in 12 FPS look. And another idea I would give you is to add S flicker to this and just make it like 0.4. So it will really look like a damaged CRT TV because the FPS are going to be low, the flicker is going to be high, and it's just going to look hella damaged. Now let's just delete these effects right here and just have the overlay. And another effect that I really recommend to just mess around with is Damaged TV 1. Now what you will notice with this effect, it's going to be very bright. Like look at his face, it's stupidly bright. Now you can have it like this if you like it this bright, but what I like to do is go to the adjustment layer of the Damaged TV 1, and where we have exposure right here, I like to lower it to like 1. Now you don't need to do it, but if you don't like the brightness, then of course you should probably do it. And for this clip I just think it looks super dope to have it. I will show you how the effect looks without the overlay. Hella cool of course, but with the overlay it just brings out everything. And I'm gonna delete the effect as well. Another super dope effect to use is Damaged TV 10. It's like this dark CRT look. Without the overlay it looks like this, but with it looks like this. I really love this look, and it's exactly what I always wanted to have, but I never used to know how to make these. And yeah, this is by using the Damaged TV 10. And let's go to see other clips. Okay, we have like a really cool clip here. It's a bit brighter here, but still dark, so I can press Ctrl Alt Y again. I'm just gonna cut it up. Alright, so I'm gonna duplicate my overlay and I'm gonna just add it below, and here I'm gonna add Damaged TV 20. Now that looks super dope already, but one thing I absolutely love about this whole pack is the presets that have the 720x480 at the back of them. Alright, so let's delete this and that. And now what we can do is we can right click on our clip, press pre-compose, and here we can call it 720x480 and move all attributes into new composition. Press OK, and now double press on it. And what we need to do here is go to composition settings, and here we need to make the width to 720 by 480. So 720 by 480 just means that the resolution is gonna be like that. Press OK, and now press S, and now just scale it down to whatever your liking is. I like this. Now I'm gonna press Ctrl Y, and here we can add Damaged 320 720 x 480 version. Now that looks super cool right now. I'm gonna add the overlay right now, Damaged Glint Deep Glow, and add it on top here. And blending mode, divide. I think that looks super dope. You can mess around, you can make the scale way higher, so you'll get to see like that, or you can make it extremely lower, like 40, and then it will give this effect. If you can't see what's happening, I would recommend to use this like for a couple of frames, not for the whole video, but I do think this is super cool. And another thing you can do is like if it's too bright here, you can press T and make the opacity like 50. And now you will see this really cool look. This is basically what the 720x480 means. You can choose different presets. For example, I'll delete this preset and I'll add Damaged 321 720x480, and you will have this super cool look. Now we can go back out of here, and now the composition is going to be like scaled down, so we'll press S and we'll scale it back up just like this, and you'll have such a cool CRT look. Very worth to mess around here. And let's just add more now. So here I can add this overlay. For this clip, I really think a cool effect to use is the Damaged TV 9. Gives that sort of like CRT fire look. Make sure to have the overlay below, of course, and divide. And also make sure it's a darker clip, or you can make the clip darker. I'll show you real soon. Now we have a clip like this. This is a super dark clip. Now, if you have a super dark clip, a really cool effect I would recommend to add is actually from the update that's coming out. If you're watching this and the update is already out, that's great, because you'll be able to add Damaged TV 11 Fix. This is the fixed up version. I fixed up my Damaged TV 11, and you can add it, and you will have this super cool look. And we can press Ctrl Y again, and on this I like to add lens 12 fps. Now we want to make another adjustment layer, and here we can add motion tile, and I like to make the output width from 80 to 70, so like 70 here, I guess. You don't even need an overlay for this to work here. You can try the overlay, but I think it's gonna be overexposed right here because the effect already has a lot of exposure. And here I'm gonna show you probably my second favorite thing to do with this overlay. So again, add the overlay. Remember to make the blending mode to divide. All right, now let's add adjustment layer, and I will add the 25th effect, Damaged TV 25. And just look how it looks. Super dope look. You can have it like this if you already want to. If you find it looks too bright, you can do two things. One, you can press T on the overlay and make the opacity like 75 or something, like just lower. Then you can start to see the colors a bit more. I would recommend adding lens 12 fps on another adjustment layer that's on top of these adjustment layers, like I did, for example, like this. Press Ctrl Y, add lens 12 fps. Yeah, so adding lens 12 fps, and it will be zoomed in. And I'll show you what to do if you have a bright clip like this one. This is not like super bright, but I would count this as brighter. I will show you what happens when you add an effect. So I'm gonna add the overlay, and look, it's super bright right now. And then if you press Ctrl Y, for example, here I added the Damaged TV 25. I don't know, I think it's a bit too bright. I don't know if I like it that bright. So what you can do is go below the overlay, but on top of the clip, and press Ctrl Y, and here add brightness and contrast. Now with these settings, you really need to mess around a lot. This is just for this clip specifically, but I'm gonna make the brightness like -30 or something. And what I actually found to work is making the contrast not lower, but higher, like that. And I also like to add CC vignette. Very much mess around here, and I like to make the CC vignette to really high amounts, to like 311. And that gives a really cool look. There are a bunch of ways to just make this darker and darker, but this is just one of them. I really recommend to mess around with this pack. Also, probably mess around with the blending mode of the overlay. Alright guys, hopefully this video was helpful. I think these presets are the closest to what you can get to a realistic CRT TV without actually having to buy a real CRT TV. And again, you can use code Povikas to get a $5 discount. A new update is coming very soon, probably next week. If you have any suggestions for effects to add in the pack, then let me know. I've already had people DM me of effects they want in the pack, and I have added them. And that's about it, guys. Have a fun and productive day. See ya.